Well, the Country Liberal Party Senator Jacinta Price says she's confident the CLP will formally oppose an Indigenous voice to Parliament. Live to Matt Cunningham and Darwin. Matt, you've revealed rank and file members want the CLP to oppose the voice. What are they saying?
Well, we've obtained 3 motions, Tom, that have been drafted ahead of the party's Central Council meeting at the weekend. These motions come from the Darwin, the Rural and the Alice Springs branch of the Country Liberal Party, and all of those branches are calling for the party to formally oppose an Indigenous voice. If we look at what they're saying, the Rural branch says the money spent on this body, with the immense number of resources to support it, would be better spent on programs that actually assisted Aboriginal people. The voice will not fix Aboriginal people's health issues, poverty issues, housing and alcohol issues. The Alice Springs branch, meanwhile, says the voice goes directly against CLP ideologies and beliefs which are inclusive and do not differentiate Territorians based on race. What is needed are practical measures, not an ideal that lacks detail and divides us along the lines of race. Now, Laura Jace spoke to Country Liberal Party Senator Jacinta Price this morning. She, of course, has been spearheading the No campaign. Here's a bit of what she had to say.
Conversations I've had certainly with Aboriginal Territorians suggest that they don't want another overarching bureaucratic gatekeeping body, but rather the opposite.
This does set up something of a showdown at this weekend's meeting, Tom, between different factions within the Country Liberal Party. The opposition leader here in the Northern Territory, Leah Finocchiaro, has been treading a far more moderate line when it comes to the voice to Parliament. Here's what she said when she was asked about this issue on Tuesday.
We're not opposed to the voice. What we care very much about is that the referendum is treated with respect. We want to make sure that every single Territorian understands what they're voting for, understands the detail behind it. We're certainly open to what it is a voice could do for the Northern Territory, but the last thing we want it to be is people from Sydney and Melbourne dictating the lives of Territorians.
Not surprisingly, Tom, the Labor government, which has really been in crisis for the past 3 weeks over the issues in Alice Springs, has been seizing on this issue. It's actually introducing a motion to the Parliament that the Northern Territory Parliament should support a voice. Here's Natasha Files, the Chief Minister, speaking this morning.
We'll be watching every single member, whether they support this or not. We have had leaders from different political persuasions support this. And I can imagine for some of those Conservative leaders it wasn't easy in their party room, but they did the right thing because they know that the voice is important for Aboriginal Australians.
I have had some CLP party members, Tom, express concern to me that if the CLP does oppose the voice to Parliament, it could put them in danger of losing a couple of marginal seats inhabited mostly by Aboriginal people. It holds the seat of Namatjira in Central Australia by just 22 votes and the seat of Barkly in and around Tennant Creek with a margin of just 7 votes. There are some concerns Labor could seize on their opposition to the voice to try and topple the CLP in those seats at next year's Northern Territory election. I have also spoken this morning to Shane Stone, and he is opposed to what is being put forward in these motions. He says that it's not a matter for the party's Central Council. He says it should be up to the parliamentary wing to decide whether or not it supports or opposes an Indigenous voice to Parliament, and he's thrown his support behind the opposition leader, Leah Finocchiaro, and the approach that she has taken on this issue.
Matt Cunningham with the latest there on the Indigenous voice to Parliament.